Good morning, guys. So I just wanted to come and talk to you guys. It's about a chapter in my book that I was thinking about this morning. It's called Not Now Doesn't Mean Never. So one of the things that I'm speaking about is sometimes in life we want certain things and we think we deserve them right then at that very moment. And years down the line, you ended up receiving it. And you have to look at every single thing that happened in your life and the reason why it wasn't time for you to receive it. So a couple of the things in my book that I really can't speak on when I say not now doesn't mean never is the fact that when I was younger, I really had struggles with having a child, and I was engaged, and I had my daughter. Before I even was able to get my daughter, I had three miscarriages, and then I had a miscarriage at 6 months, and I was really big. And nobody, it's a lot of things that people may not know about me, but this is going to be in my book, and how I just was praying to God and I was asking him, like, why am I not able to have a child? And I really wanted to have a child with the person I was engaged and in love with. And before that person came along, I had three miscarriages. So I never understood that. But then years down the line, I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter. And at 8 months, I started bleeding. And they were saying to me, like, they told me that I would never be able to have children. But she made it here. Of course, they sat me down. I was working. Um, I was working full time at Kimmer Mercy. I never forget. I was just like, why? And then, it just came to me while I was writing this chapter about how so many times we want things in life and it's not time for them, and it doesn't mean that God is punishing you. And the second thing is, I had prayed so hard. I had been at, I think, my job at Buffalo General Children's Hospital. It was just like 14 years I had been there, and then I had ended up getting laid off. And I remember I did not cry. I just knew lessons in life had taught me that there's always something in store that God has for you. And people were wondering why I was not upset. The whole department had got laid off, and everybody was crying. And I kept saying, I know God has something better for me. Now, mind you, the whole entire time I was there, I had applied for this federal government job for 6 years, and I never got called in. As soon as we got laid off, I don't think I was even 3 months into my severance pay, and I got blessed with six government jobs. Like, six jobs called me for six different interviews, and it was like the overflow of the blessing. And then another time I remember when I was trying to buy my home, and I kept, I was renting, and a lot of times people will say cruel things to you, family members. Oh, I thought you were going to buy a home. I thought you said you were going to buy a house. And it's like they would always throw it in your face. And I used to say to myself, like, one day I'm going to buy my home. And I used to always pray, and I used to say, God, like, why am I not able to do this? Why? And it seems like you're saying no, but I'm ready. But he had to continue to, uh, I guess I would say I had to be disciplined. And now I look back on it and I say, no didn't mean never. It just mean that he was preparing me for a mortgage. So the more I remember, my rent would continue to go up, and it was like 1,400, 1,500. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I remember even the ex had said to me, like, you're paying all this rent for what? And that was the time that it struck me, and it said, I got on my knees one day and I said, God, I know that you are preparing me for something. And the reason why I'm not receiving my blessing right now is because actually I was in my blessing. He was preparing me for my mortgage. And then I think I think a couple years after that is when I was able to buy a brand new home, not a home already built, a brand new built home on my own without anybody helping me, without me asking for assistance. And when I say that, it's okay to say without anybody helping me, because people know how close I am with my dad and he would do anything for me. But I didn't want to go to anybody for help, but God blessed me with somebody who actually helped me get things in order that I needed to get in order. And I had prayed for an angel. I'm like, it's something that I'm missing. But at the end of the day, I was able to buy my home in my own name. And I feel like the way my mortgage was set up is like God had prepared me for it. And that was the main thing when I bought my home. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to? But he had already prepared me for it. So I just want to tell somebody out there that no does not mean never. And I hope that when my book does come out, that you guys will understand. A lot of times we go through things in life and we think that, the enemy is just always attacking us, or it's not even that. It's the fact that God is not giving it to you yet because it's not time for it. So you have to be aware that sometimes in life, if you're not ready for it, then he won't give it to you. And then it's basically based on how your heart is set up, because in the Bible it does say the heart is wicked. So sometimes he has to transform our heart and also prepare us for before he gives us what he's going to give us, because we may fumble it because we may not know how to take care of it. So that's just like a kid. You're not going to take off the training wheels and you know they don't know how to ride a bike. You got to let them get prepared for it. So anyway, I'm just so happy about this chapter in my book about not now. Now or no doesn't mean never, or not now doesn't mean never. So I hope you guys will have a blessed and wonderful Sunday. Thank you for coming back to my page. And I want you to understand that life has a way of preparing you for what's coming. So stay faithful and always pray and ask God for understanding, discernment, and also for clarity on what season you're in your life. And yeah, thank you for coming back to my channel. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye.